Welcome everyone for a revised and updated Cobra Kai Season 3 watch party. As you remember, at the first Season 3 table read, Ralph Macchio posted this picture of his script. From that, we've done a hell of a lot. We got the title of episode 1, we dissected the names and learned some of the characters in order of appearance, we even took a guess at the title of episode 2. But as time went on, it became clear there were some mistakes. I recently made an update video for the title of episode 2. My first guess was wrong. Was there anything else that was wrong about my predictions? Let me show you something that has been bothering me for a long time. My first video on this I made very quickly. It was published less than a day after Ralph posted his picture. Consequently, it was sloppy. Not horrible, just sloppy. In the following weeks and months, as I was making videos on Sam and whatnot, I did come back to this picture and double check my work. Now, in Tori's mom confronts Kreese, I revisited the script. I wanted to address that while I thought the character was Maria Nichols, that the spelling may be off. It could be spelled differently. In fact, it could even be Maria Michaels. Well, that would call into question the whole idea of it being Tori's mom, but it is a possibility. Part of the reason I got the idea is because I was counting the letters in the name. It's what I do in all of these. Now, for those of you who are here the first time, let me explain. The font this script is written in is Courier Final Draft, which is really just Courier New. This specific font is used because every character has the exact same width. This is done in scripts to properly measure time. They want one page of script to equal one page of film. Now that gives us a big help. We can precisely count the number of letters in each word. Everything, even the dots and periods, will take the exact same width. So what do we do with that? Well, when I was first looking at the script, I was able to decipher that the first name on the page was Robbie. The second is clearly Miguel, and the third is Kreese. From that, I made the theory Season 3 would open with a flashback here, then it would cut to a scene with Kreese, possibly with Robbie, possibly with Tori's mom, we don't know. But as it turns out, there's a bit of a problem in this whole theory. The numbers don't add up. Yeah, it always comes down to math. What do I mean? Well, let's look at the names. Robbie has 5 letters. Miguel has 6 letters, and Kreese also has 6 letters. But here's the problem. Let's look at the script. And remember, in this font, every letter, number, and symbol, even the periods, take the exact same width. So Robbie has 5 letters. Very easy. Miguel has 6 letters. Also easy. And also we can line up with the extra period after Robbie. But Kreese has 7 letters. Huh? What? How is that possible? It isn't. But yet it is. You can easily see how the last letter lines up with the first dot after Miguel. Except it shouldn't because they have the same number of letters. Now, I don't know how you spend your free time, but last November I was spending mine, spinning this picture around, doing whatever I can to line up each and every dot on the damn page. But every time it came back to Kreese having an extra letter. But wait a second, we know the actor here. It is listed because it is an established character, and that's what's really messed up. It is clearly Martin Kove. Let's use the technique we just used, but backwards. TBD, or to be determined for a character not yet cast. That's 3 letters. With 1 period behind it, that would be 4. Yes, this character has a 4-letter last name. And if you sort through the whole freaking cast, the only actors of any significance with 4-letter last names are Martin Kove and Peyton List. Well, this name is clearly not Peyton List, and the character sure ain't Tori, so it's not her. And look at the name, it's Kove, clearly Kove, you can see the K-O. And Martin Kove only plays one character on this show, John Kreese. But yet, for some reason, Kreese seems to have an extra letter. What the hell is going on here? Well, I looked closely. This part is a little more obscured. I ultimately decided that maybe the name Kreese was actually spelled wrong on this character sheet. That seems unlikely, but there was no other explanation. My biggest problem, though, is with the script writing software, these sheets are often created automatically from the script. That would make a misspelling very unlikely. But then, they do talk about doing last-minute rewrites and always being pressed for time. Maybe they were rewriting the script that morning, and printing out literally as the people were showing up. And someone accidentally messed up Kreese's name, but there was no time to fix it. You can almost imagine everyone sitting around the table laughing at the simple mistake. It's a rushed production. In fact, I even made a mental note that after season 3 came out and all my predictions were true, to ask in a Q&A, was the name Kreese spelled wrong on the first episode's character sheet? I thought it would be a fun question for a Q&A. I suppose I could have asked beforehand, but that kind of feels like cheating. Plus, no idea how they would answer, if at all. So on we went. I just assumed this third name is Kreese with an extra E or something. A simple mistake, but hey, it happens, especially on a rushed production. So just the other day, I revisited all this for another video. And as I do every time I reopen this picture, I looked back at everything I knew and where I still had questions. I was pondering this extra letter in Kreese again. But as I looked back at the various names, I stopped on Cove's name again and just froze. What else could it even be? You know the sensation when you finally make a connection or put something together? Like one moment nothing is there, and then the next moment, boom, there it is. All of it. Well, that's what happened. Somehow, my mind just wandered over to the right answer, and it is this guy. You know who he is, but do you know who he is or why he's here? Let's go back to Karate Kid. The fight choreographer for all 3 Karate Kid movies was Pat Johnson. He trained the actors and choreographed every fight scene. He was also given a role. He played the head ref in the first, the second, and third movies. It was a nice touch. So in Cobra Kai, with the references and parallels to the original movies, it made sense as an Easter egg for the show's fight choreographer to also play the head referee. It's tradition at this point. And this guy's name is Hito Koda. So now what if for this name, instead of it saying Kreese, it says referee? And instead of Martin Kove, it says Hito Koda. And look, before we go any further, can I just say Kreese referee and Kove Koda? I mean, come on now. It's like the same freaking letters just rearranged. Come on, throw us a bigger bone. Couldn't you say head referee like the way Hito is credited on IMDb? That would have solved a lot of problems. Yeesh. So the first 3 characters to appear in Season 3 will be Robbie, Miguel, and the head referee of the All Valley tournament. So what does that mean? Well, I will give you 3 possibilities. The first is a straight flashback to the All Valley. Miguel versus Robbie. Perhaps we relive this sort of the way Johnny did in the first episode. It would be interesting if Robbie is remembering Miguel's tough but perfectly legal moves. It could be Robbie justifying his anger for Miguel, like he's trying to rationalize to himself that Miguel was bad and it was okay he kicked him over the railing. That's an interesting psychological take that would mirror Johnny a lot. It's possible this is a season they grow a lot closer. The second possibility is a flashback to a scene we didn't previously see. Perhaps Miguel and Robbie bumped into each other in the parking lot after changing. It wouldn't have been that specific since we know what happens after, but if you think Kreese ties into all this, and what happened in that parking lot between Kreese and Johnny will come up again in Season 3, then maybe there's a reason that Miguel and Robbie ran into each other in the same spot. It's small, but just an idea. The third one is a bit out there. I hope you're sitting for this. What if instead of this being a flashback, it is a flash forward? What if Season 3 opens at the final match of the next All Valley tournament? Now hear this out. Many people have speculated Season 3 will have another All Valley tournament. It would line up with Karate Kid 3 and just fits with the show. But as Brianna Davidson says, when it comes to these callbacks and Easter eggs, sometimes they like to play with us, subvert expectations. No, not like the Ryan Johnson or Dumb and Dumber from Game of Thrones.
While Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her, and they're just waiting for her to come back.
Like this.
Medic! Is there a medic?
So what if we do get another All-Valley tournament, but instead of it being the build-up of the whole season, it opens there? In fact, what if this isn't a flash forward at all? Remember in this video I said we already know there will be a ton of flashbacks in Season 3? You remember I also said I thought Season 3 was going to have non-linear storytelling. What if the season starts at the next All-Valley, but most of the season itself is a flashback? Not just for Kreese in Vietnam, but for all the characters. Robbie getting arrested, Miguel recovering from his injury, Daniel with his outbursts and trip to Okinawa. Everyone remembers their trauma and what they had to deal with. My instincts have been that the timeline was going to get funky in Season 3. I guess we'll have to see. And just to throw this out, Maria Nichols or Michaels, I still think this is Tori's mom, mostly because I have no idea who the hell else it could be. But think about this. Why is Tori's mom at the tournament but not Tori herself? Who knows? So now we know the first scene of Season 3 will be at the All-Valley tournament. The only question now is, which one? Leave a comment on what you think below. Is it a flashback or a flash forward? Subscribe to the channel if you want serious Cobra Kai news. I'm always looking for more subscriptions, and I will never lead you astray. Also check out my other videos, especially my updated video on the title for Season 3, Episode 2. I am tired of hearing people say Little Miss Perfect. That was a great guess, but it was wrong. Watch the video and figure it out. Have a great day. See you soon.
Not gonna let Cobra Kai get away with this.
Enough with Cobra Kai. Don't you see what this stupid rivalry has done? Our daughter is in the hospital. No more karate.
Okay, all right. Amanda, I know, you're right.
No more karate. It's over.